All right, Shalom Makiam out there. First and foremost, before I get started, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Makakwadash. All right, I want to give double honors to the apostles, a great millstone, taught me this word. While Shalom to all you brothers out there that's teaching this word in truth and sincerity. All right, back at it with another lesson. As you brothers can see, the title of this one is going to be Yahawashi's promise. You know, just just doing some meditating on John, the 16th chapter, in other chapters, Yahawashi basically made a promise, all right, until, all right, his brothers, the elect, that he will return, man, and that's the day that we long for, you know, is his return, all right, and we only got a couple more prophecies left, mainly being the MOTB being mandated, all right, as well as World War III, you know. But yeah, I just want to go through a couple scriptures and Lord willing, this may be edifying unto you brothers and few sisters out there. All right, let's start with John chapter 16. All right, in verse really we could start at verse 16, but the point is in like 20, 22, This is John 16 and 16. It says, a little while, and ye shall not see me. And again, a little while, ye shall see me, because I go to the Father. Right. And this is Yahawashi pretty much before, he had, he gave his life up pretty much. He laid his life down. All right. For prophecy's sake, it's something that had to be done, So it says, then said some of the disciples among themselves, what is this that he saith unto us, a little while, and ye shall not see me, and again, a little while, ye shall see me, and because I go to the Father. They said, therefore, what is this that he saith, a little while? We cannot tell what he saith, right? So the disciples, they was confused at that point, like, dang, what is he talking about, But Yahawashi had to lay his life down, you know what I mean? And then he did see the disciples again, in Acts, the first chapter, man. All right. When he was with them for 40 days, you know what I'm saying? So it says, verse 18, they said, therefore, what is this that he said for a little while, we cannot tell what he saith. Now Yahawashi knew that they were desirous to ask him, and said unto them, do ye inquire among yourself of that I said, a little while, and ye shall not see me, and again a little while ye shall see me? Verily, verily, I say unto you, that ye shall weep and lament, but the world shall rejoice, and ye shall be sorrowful, but your sorrow shall be turned into joy. Right. And that's, what we go through now, we ain't in a house of mirth, we're in a house of mourning. You know what I'm saying? We're living in this wicked society. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing but, like the scriptures say, the valley of the shadow of death, man. All right. That's where we at right now. All right. So yeah, we weep and lament because it's nothing but wickedness around us, and we're trying to be righteous, man. And what the world do? They're rejoicing. Okay. Because, hey, this is their world. You know what I'm saying? This is Satan's world. So if you down with that, of course you're gonna rejoice. You know what I mean? So we're going through the same thing the disciples was going through, But it says, but your sorrow shall be turned into joy. Right. Our sorrow shall be turned into joy, man. Let's pull out this red letter. The same sorrow that we have right now, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be turned into joy because Yahawashi's promise, It's verse 21. It says, a woman, when she is in travail, have sorrow because her hour is come. Right. But as soon as she is delivered of the child, she remembered no more the anguish, for that a man is born into the world. So Yahawashi took it back to a woman, giving birth pretty much. You know, she going through that sorrow and them pains and birth pains, but as soon as she delivers, you know what I'm saying, you don't even remember that pain no more. You know what I mean? Now it's nothing but joy, because look what you got in the world now. You got a man child. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that's the same thing when Yahawashi come back, you know, and establishes the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have nothing but of joy, you know, at that point. All right. So it says, verse 22, it says, and ye now therefore have sorrow, but I will see you again. Right. And this is Yahawashi's promise, man. He said that he's going to see us again. All right. And he says this in multiple instances. All right. In the scriptures, and Lord willing, we'll get them. You know, it says, and ye now therefore have sorrow, but I will see you again, and your heart shall rejoice. And your joy no man take it from you. You know? So Yahawashi is he's gonna return. All right? It ain't no ifs and ain't no buts about it. It's his promise, man. You know? What did he say? That he is not a man that he should lie. Okay? A man that is faithful and true. Let's get that real fast in Revelation 19. I believe it's like 19 and maybe 11. Yeah, here we go. Revelation 19 and 11, it says, and I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse. And that white horse represents a chariot. Okay? It says, and he that sat upon him was called faithful and true. And Yahawashi is the one that sat upon him. All right? The chariot. You know? So it says that he was called faithful and true. And in righteousness he doth judge and make war. You see? And that's what he's coming back to do. To judge and to make war. All right? And he's going to put all these nations in subjection, or starting with the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. You know? So yeah, man, faithful and true. So Yahawashi, you know, his words and his promise, all right, are nothing but faithful and true sayings. You know? So let's yeah, and that's the whole book, all right, because Yahawashi is the word. All right, now let's get John the 14th chapter, okay, because this is another instance where the Lord said it. Okay, John 14 and 1, it reads, it says, let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in the heavenly Father, believe ye also in me. Believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would not have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. Right. So this is Yahawashi speaking. It says, let not your heart be troubled. Believe in the heavenly Father. Believe ye also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. Right. This is going into the planets, man. You know, because Yahawashi is up there, right, in his Father's house. It says, if it were not so, I wouldn't have told you. Going back to how he's not a man that he should lie. You know what I mean? It says, I go to prepare a place for you. You know, so he's preparing a place, all right, for his brothers, his, you know, the elect, all right, the chosen ones. Yeah, verse 3, it says, and if I go to prepare a place for you, I will come again. This is that promise, man. So Yahawashi is looking forward to this, man. You know, this is something that he longs for, not only to put his enemies in subjection, right, but also to fulfill his promises, man. You know, they say he got to prepare a place prepared, all right, for us, man. Lord willing, we are part of that number. You know, it says, and if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also, right? Because the scriptures speak about being joint heirs, man. Let me get that one real fast. You know, the elect being joint heirs. This is Romans 8 and 17. And if children, then heirs, heirs of the heavenly Father, and joint heirs with Yahawashi. You see, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may also be glorified together. All right, that we may be also glorified together. You see, so Yahawashi said he's going to receive us unto him again. You know what I mean? because we're going to be joined together, man, you know. All right, and it's a beautiful thing, man. All right. So let's see what else we got here. All right. This is let's get Second Timothy. This is the book of Second Timothy, chapter 4. Jump over a couple of chapters. Second Timothy 4 and 7. It says, I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. Henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day. Right, speaking about Yahawashi, man. All right, because this is Paul speaking. You know, when he was ready to depart. All right, and he already knew the prophecies that when Yahawashi come back, he gonna be giving the elect a crown. All right, which is a physical crown. You know what I mean? So that's another thing that Yahawashi promised unto the elect. They gonna get crowns, man. You know what I'm saying? And it says, henceforth is laid up for me a crown of righteousness. You know, this is why it's important for us to finish this thing. You know, the scriptures say better is the ending of a thing than the beginning thereof. All right. So Lord willing, we can finish our course as well, man, and keep the faith unto the very end. All right, because we're gonna be tested. You know, the hour of temptation. Okay, the MOTB. All right, our faith is gonna be tested to the max. You know what I'm saying? And Lord willing, we could, pass with flying colors. You know, as they say. It says, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day. And not to me only, but to all them that love his appearing. And the elect are the only ones that's going to love his appearing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, those are pretty much the precepts I had. You know what I mean? Lord willing, this lesson may be edifying unto you brothers and few sisters out there. And we only got, Yahawashi, his return is imminent. All right. You know what I'm saying? 2026. All right, it's going to be a hell of a year through the Spirit. You know what I'm saying? Brothers, keep the faith, keep striving. All right. And, yeah, man, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying unto you brothers out there. Just a quick one, quick hit. Yahawashi's promise, man. All right. So for that, I want to close it out by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem HaKakodash. I want to give double honor to the apostles, that great millstone who taught me this word. Wa shalom to all you brothers out there that's teaching this word in truth and sincerity. Stay up, brothers. Shalom.